comic lovers, Mark Allen here, 4-Color Commentary. And I'm excited about today's video just because I found a few things I was hoping to find over the last couple of days. It's small haul, no collection, nothing like that, but a couple of things to flip and some things that are just of interest to me, which if you don't have your own self-interest in any hobby, whether comic books, sports cards, guns, knives, whatever it is, you might as well get out, because a hobby is supposed to be fun, okay? And so anyway, there's going to be some fun stuff, some stuff that just interests me, and then some stuff that I can flip. So I don't even have these out of the bags yet. Just got back from Joplin and was able to hit a vintage stock and Hurley's Heroes in Joplin. I didn't get to go through everything Hurley's had, but if you're ever in the Joplin area, definitely look up Hurley's Heroes, and they've got great selections of dollar comics, and that's all their back issues. In fact, I believe are dollar comics. But anyway, we'll start with the bunch of comics I got out of there, the small bunch, all right, about 8 comics. I got, first of all, something I had years ago that I was glad to come up on again, and that is Independence Day, kind of the prequel, Independence Day #0 that Marvel put out back before the Independence Day movie. And I always loved that cover. It's a space photo cover, of course, kind of a photo cover. Obviously, the spaceship was, not part of the real photo, obviously. But anyway, I loved finding that for $1. I like the movie-related comics. By the way, let's see if I can do this very quickly. As I was going through, I'm still organizing, and as I was going through all the comics the other day, I found that I had something I didn't remember having that actually people are asking for quite a bit online, and I was shocked that I have it, but I was glad to have it because, like I said, I like these types of comics, and that is this Blade. This is the exclusive theater edition, and I was really glad to find that. And one of those things, again, that you forget that you have, and so you're glad you have it. But anyway, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so got the Independence Day ID4 #0. Now this next one, the cover makes me laugh. I'll just be real honest. I'm gonna take it out of the plastic. With all of the Captain Marvel being so hot right now and everything, this is a Captain Marvel that is not hot, has never been hot. This was bought for the gimmick cover. You know how I like gimmick covers. And as bad as the cover itself may be, the foil on this was done so well, and that is this Captain Marvel #1. This, I don't even know, I'm not sure who this guy is supposed to be. I think he was the original Captain Marvel's son. He even has a kind of a cheesy little patch back on his rear end there. Kiss me, I'm Kree. But you know, it's foil too. The whole thing. Look at that. The foil was done so well on this, and I could not pass up this cover. You know me, sucker for gimmick covers, and so couldn't pass it up. And I'll probably read it just because it's a comic and I can't not read it. But I'm not expecting it to leave any kind of impression. Oh, he actually does have. I don't know if you can see it there. You can see the circle. He actually does have that sticker on his bum in the comic. Kiss me, I'm Kree. You know, I doubt anybody took him up on that. But the foil is great. I love the foil. So anyway, Captain Marvel #1, December 1995. And was happy to pull that out for $1 and liberate that because it is a beautiful foil cover. Get that back in there and we can move on. Now, I'm slowly piecing together this other series that is an early Adam Hughes art job, and that is the Maze Agency. I already have a couple of these, but I found #2. You know, it was. I'm trying. Let's see what the publication date was. Some of you may remember right off the bat. I don't know. It's going to be late '80s, early '90s. But Maze Agency is one of those early. Let's see. That's 1989 is what I'm seeing here. And so, you know, Adam Hughes, very gifted, very talented artist. His covers, even from back then, were really good. Now, you can see this one's going to need a little bit of a press, but as rare as these are to find, I mean, I just don't find, I have trouble in the wild, in our neck of the woods, finding the Maze Agency comics. And, of course, illustration on both sides, and love that. But Adam Hughes, great artist. I don't keep up with all of his stuff, but Maze Agency looks really cool, and I've wanted to get it all together and read it for quite some time, because I remember the buzz about it back in the day, and people, it really had a following. It is a Kamiko work, and it has, or publication, and it has a following. Now, these are just totally of interest to me. First of all, I got another Sharkman #1. I didn't realize even that there was another cover, and that is cover to Sharkman #1, a different cover than the one I have. And nobody cares about Sharkman. Most of you have probably never heard of Sharkman, but Sharkman was a beautifully illustrated comic, and didn't care really that much about the characters and such, but it was so eye-popping that I wanted it, and I saw that cover and I had to have it. So there you go. So there's that. Okay. Then there's Batman and the Shadow. Now, I like these crossovers, these company crossovers, you know that. But there was actually 2 different covers done of this. I don't even remember who did the other cover. This was just, to me, the best cover of the 2. As far as I know, there were just 2, but there may have been more. But this is the Tim Sale cover, and I love that. Just beautiful cover. I know I'm going to like the story. Most likely going to like the story. But that cover was worth it. And so I can't wait to look. You know, I always thought that, of course, the Shadow was kind of a precursor of the Batman, and kind of an inspiration, one of the inspirations for the Batman. And it's going to be interesting to see those 2 characters interact. All right. Now, these next 3 are Superman comics, and just again, one of my personal interests in comics is alternate versions, be they past versions, future versions, or just alternate Earth versions of our heroes and characters. But this is Superman #136 from, let's see, July of '98, so you get the idea of which is the second volume of Superman. Superman, and that is the Superman of $29.99 on the cover there. You can see he's a little bit different, you know, and he's wrecking a kind of doing an homage there of the classic cover, only it's not a car but a spaceship he's wrecking there. All right, and then Superman 137, another cover homage to the first, was it the first Justice League cover, or I can't remember, but it was an old Justice League cover. But you have future versions of Supergirl, Green Lantern, Batman over here with the gold in his costume. What's that about? But anyway, it says, you know, Superman of $29.99 AD matches wits with the malevolent Muto to save a world without a future. All right, so that's just going to be a fun read. Plus, both of these are Dan Jurgens' Paul Ryan works. So I always liked Paul Ryan. I always liked his work on Fantastic Four. He's just a really solid, good, solid artist that he's really good for action, you know, superhero action, that kind of thing. His style really fits it. Now, this last one, I got those 2 because they led up to this one, it seemed, story-wise. And so here you have, I love this. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this cover is reminiscent of a Superman cover. It may have been Superman, Adventures of Superman, or Man of Steel, I don't remember. But during the 0 Hour storyline in the 90s, there was a Superman cover, and I have it, with all the different Batman. All these Batman standing around him. From different eras of different artists, and there was the Dark Knight Batman, there was the Bob Kane Batman, there was the Bill Finger Batman, there was all these Batman, Neil Adams, and that kind of thing. So this kind of reminded me of that, though there's not near as many. There's only 4 Supermen on here, but look at catch it. Superman #138, meet the Master of Reality, Dominus. And there you go. You got the first Superman there. You got kind of the Kirk Swan Superman. You got the Superman 29.99. I think that's our Superman in this case, the Paul Ryan Superman. But anyway, so you had just a great cover. I love that. Can't wait to see what that story's about, especially though with the first Superman thrown in there with everyone. So I like that. So those were some great grabs from Hurley's Heroes. Now the ones from Vintage Stock in Joplin, one of the Vintage Stocks in Joplin. Now, this I got just story-wise. It was the first annual of Superman Batman series. It is a reimaginary story. I got it because it is a Kelly and McGinnis work. You have Owlman and what is it? Ultimate Man or Ultraman, whoever the crime syndicate or League of Crime or whatever they're called. I'm not a DC guy, you know that, but this looked fun, and so for $1 I picked that up, and I can't wait to read that and see what that's about. Now this is one that I've been trying to put together this whole series because a friend of mine, well, Michael Vance, whose column I wrote for a decade, he always recommended this book, and he said it was a great book, and it's called The Silent Invasion. It's a Renegade Press publication, The Silent Invasion. I'm going to open this up and show you the art style because it's really different and funky. I've spent literally, it is not an overstatement to say I have spent years trying to put this together. Not because I didn't just want to go on eBay and order it. I wanted to hunt it down and then read it. Now you're going to see it needs some pressing, and I'm not real worried about it. I'm going to press it, but this was for me. The Silent Invasion #2, and here's an idea of the art style. It is black and white. It is very non-traditional art style. Okay, but I love it. It's one of those books that for some reason that I can't define. I love the look of it. Again, I can't wait to read it. I've waited years to read this story until I have all the issues. And so, that's where we are on that. You get these little, if you've been collecting for as long as I have, you have these little, what's the word I'm looking for? Missions that you're trying to gather up these certain comics to read, and you don't want to start reading, especially stuff like this that takes years. You don't want to start reading until you have it all, because then you'll forget what you read. And so anyway, so now these, I'm going to leave the ones that are first appearances and flippable to last, but this is another labor of love. I am a big fan of Serenity, the Serenity. Firefly. Serenity was the movie, but Firefly, the series, the sci-fi series, did not last long enough. Joss Whedon series, and just a wonderful, great actors, great cast, great stories, just an amazing series. Well, I found some complete stories at Vintage Stock. Serenity. This one is I'm not even sure what this story is called, but it's all 3 issues of a 3-issue story. Love the covers, love the artwork, great stuff. And so I can't wait. These will be the first comic stories of Serenity that I've ever, or Firefly Crew that I've ever read. And then I found a small, I don't know why it's done in this size, but a small trade paperback, Serenity, Those Left Behind, for $1. Okay. And so I can't wait to read those. Again, beautiful cover, beautifully rendered cover. And I'm going to enjoy reading those because especially when it's a TV comic, you can or movie comic, you can hear the voices, okay, of the actors, even though it's comic book, and so I love that. So I can't wait. Okay, these last 3. This first one actually I found at the local flea market. Okay, and it is Thunderbolts #4. This is a book that is mildly heating up. It's been hotter in the past, but I'm glad to grab these and just put them back. But Thunderbolts, the first appearance of Jolt, Thunderbolts #4. Great shape. I got it for $1, and I've seen it go for $10, $12 on eBay. Nice copies. Okay, it's cooled off a little bit right now. That's okay. I can wait. The other one is one actually that it's interesting. It's up and down. But there's always somebody, seems to be always someone who wants it, and that is A-Next #4, another #4, A-Next #4, first appearance of American Dream. Now, to me, this one's great because the idea of someone taking up the mantle of Captain America, and honestly, it's been too long since I read A-Next. I don't know if this is his daughter. I don't know anything, so feel free to say yes it is, or no it isn't, or whoever it is. But I love the character, always liked. I can remember liking her spunk, liking her personality, liking the character itself. So another first appearance, glad to have it. And then lastly, this is one that I thought I had, and when it started blowing up on eBay, and it's cooled off again, but it's still selling. It's selling for more than $1, which is what I paid for it. But when I first saw it start blowing up, I thought, oh, I have that, because I've had it before. I've had every issue. I went and looked through all my long boxes that I never open up. Couldn't find it anywhere. I was so disappointed, but I found it today at vintage stock in the dollar box. Boom, ball and chain number 1. Evidently there is a TV show coming out about that, or a movie, I think TV show though. But the interesting premise, you have a couple that's going through having marriage problems, and they both become superheroes, and it brings them together. So hey, whatever works, right? And so it's great, you know, neat to find that for $1. And so put that back too, and just wait for it to explode again or whatever. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But for $1, it's a comic, and I'll read it. And for someone wanting to option it, you know, it must be a good enough story for $1 anyway. So anyway, but that's what I've got. Not much, but I was excited. I'm excited to be getting back out there again and starting to go through the dollar boxes. Can't wait till I'm able to do that on a regular basis again. Anyway, that's it for now. We will be doing another video. I wanted to do some more cool stuff I've been finding as I'm going through. You know, going through all your comics, you just get an idea. You find stuff, and you're like, oh, wow, this is so cool, especially when you've been doing it for 40 years or around there. And you're like, this is so neat. Got to talk about this. How many people know about this? And so I'll be doing some more of that next video, hopefully in the next couple of days. But until then, thanks for watching 4 Color Commentary, and we'll see you next video.